For a knife maker, I got a pretty cool shop with a lot of expensive tools. A pretty cool gas forge, an insanely big power hammer, a rolling mill, and I got Chris. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And upstairs another 3 belt grinders and this big one back there. So our shop is pretty well equipped. But what if I wouldn't have all these things and would start from the beginning? But what if I have to do this whole thing starting new on a budget? So I bought this on Amazon. Vevor gas forge oven hexagon 250 by 215 by 190 mm gas forge with burner, gold, brass, bronze, magnesium, aluminium, tin, stainless steel, gas, propane forge oven, 2-meter gas hose. This is the cheapest gas forge that I could find on Amazon. I paid 65 euros for it. That's about $75 of the United States of America. And now we're gonna find out if the thing is really suitable for us knife makers or not. According to Amazon, should be a good gas forge. The reviews are mixed, but I really want to see if this thing is capable for us makers or not. And god damn it, this thing is tiny. And for a little size comparison, so it comes with the hose, nozzle, pressure gauge, and I think in here packaged is the fire cement brick. That will be the bottom of the whole forge where you put on all your steels that you want to forge. Also this kind of valve thing that goes on top here and screws in here, and I think this thingy is for pressure control of the airflow. And what's also pretty neat about this, it comes with free cancer.
I know what did Cancer do. Free my boy Cancer. Why is he in jail?
You see this ceramic fiber insulation wool. So this stuff, when it's not treated, like not insulated or not covered by any fire brick or fire cement or anything, this stuff gets porous, gets in the air, gets into your lungs, super cancerous, super dangerous. So if you buy this, buy some cement or some insulation for this stuff and cover the whole thing. What we did with ours, because ours is of course also with this ceramic coating, but we have fire cement all the way around it so it doesn't, it's not getting freed, it's not getting damaged, and the fibers don't go into the air and kill you. And this piece of fire brick will be your forge bottom. So this goes in here. And now you have this super tiny space to put your stuff in and get it hot for forging. So I'm doing this without instructions now, and it's actually super easy. Like, there's this screw, there's this screw, just put it in, screw everything together. Screw everything together if it would. Screw everything together. So, forget what I said about easy.
20 minutes later.
And what I could already see right now while installing this, the piece that's holding the handle for the valve, it's already rusty. Rusty nuts. And as I just found out, this is a super stiff and also a super cheap hose connection, because usually on a gas hose like this brass piece turns so you can screw it on things, but this doesn't. This is fixed. You have to screw it on and then put the valve in. Now that the piece is on, we can insert it and tighten this screw again. So the building up of this forge was actually pretty super easy. No instructions, no nothing, and set up. If I would have put these pieces together the right way as it should be, I think the whole setup took me like 5 minutes. What I can say first about this thing that I already noticed, the build quality of like all those bends and all those welds down here is actually way nicer than I thought it would be. I accepted some super crappy Chinese bad welding, Pakistani style stuff, but for the first look, at least the outside, at least the components, sure, these are cheap components. Of course, no comparison to the stuff that we have on ours, but ours is like 10 times the price of this one. Actually, for a super cheap forge like this, I'm actually pretty surprised. So now I would say, light it up and check out its features.
Let me show you its features.
So the forge is heating up pretty nice. I just cut off a piece of 80 CRV2, plastic flat stud 4 millimeters thick. So now we're gonna try if it's, I mean, it for sure is capable, but we didn't test it, to heat this thing up and forge a little bit. Test number 1 with the Vevor forge. And actually, I mean, nice heat, pretty even across the whole thing that was in the forge. And loose hammerhead. And yeah, actually, it passes the test. It heats shit up. It lets you forge. I mean, for forming flat stock, perfectly fine. Now let's check out if we can forge weld Damascus with it. So prepare a small little billet with 11 layers just to test it out. Usually we start with 25 layers, but I don't think it will fit in the forge properly. So we give it a chance because as a hobbyist smith, you will start smaller. So let's try. So I put the billet in the center of the forge, so right under the burner where it should actually be hottest. So now we can see later if it's really doing the whole thing or just the middle portion and the other stuff is cold, or if it's really heating it up pretty evenly. So the piece is now in the fire for 10 minutes and it's actually looking pretty good to forge weld. So let's smash it together, put some borax on it, and then let's try it out if we can forge weld this piece. So forge welding actually worked out pretty nicely. So what are my thoughts about this Gasforge? Honestly, when I bought it, I knew it's the cheapest thing. I saw a few other reviews of that. I thought honestly it would be super shitty. But now I tried it and have a different opinion. Temperature-wise, after now about an hour of this thing running, on the side we have about 200 degrees Celsius, and on top we have about 220, 215. What's very important is up here we still have about 50 degrees Celsius, which is actually pretty okay. It's still like warm to the touch, I can still touch it. And I was super worried about the holes being overheating, but actually pretty good. What I would recommend still is maybe like have a 45 degree or 30 degree bend in it, that the hose is a little bit away from the forge itself. What I still don't like is the free cancer that's included in the shipping with this. So if you buy this, please also buy some refractory cement, some super heat resistant cement. You can get the stuff in small numbers. Put it all on the insulation wool, on the ceramic fibers. Please don't kill yourself with this kind of material, because you get, and also the outside, so cover the whole thing, everything that is with this ceramic wool. So cover the whole thing and be sure to be safe. What you can also do to make the performance of this piece a little bit better, maybe put some fire bricks behind it so there's only one opening. Or maybe, if you have seen at Alex Steel, he's always putting in front like 2 bricks where he's just like putting them where he needs them. So open it up, put it in, close it, then you have a little bit less gas that you need to use. And also like have the heat centered in the Gasforge itself. It's also a little bit tiny, so if you maybe just doing small forging or just a beginner knife maker or blacksmith, whatever is your goal with this thing, it's a little bit small, but for beginner should be totally fine. You won't forge swords with that, but you could technically. What I would also change is the pressure gauge here. This is just a, I don't know, no-name cheap-ass thingy. I would switch it up with a real pressure gauge where you can actually see how many bars or PSI for the Americans that you're using of propane. If it's a good forge in the long run, like not using a lot of propane or anything, I can't really tell. You need a month to do this. But for 70 bucks for a hobbyist or beginner, it's a go for me. Thumbs up. Amazon link, as a little affiliate link, so you can support us, is in the description down below or in the pinned comment. I'm not sponsored by them, I paid it with my own money, I didn't get anything for free, so this is just a review for you guys. And I was curious if it's really good or not. So thanks everybody for watching today's video. I hope you liked this little review of the Vevor cheapest forge on Amazon. And I'll see you and this Red Bull in the next video. Bye. Outtakes, Bist du das oder brauchst du? Hast du schon drauf? Ja. Wunderbar. Outtakes. And this piece of fire piece, and this piece of fire brick. Martin found fire.